This week's episode is brought to you by Legends over at Cayuga Broadheads, and something I'm really loving this rut and pre-rut right now is, although there's a lot of moisture around, I don't have to worry about my broadheads rusting whilst there's moisture getting into the quiver. Previous years using other broadheads, I've definitely had to worry about this. I've had to get home and I've had to, even by the time I've got home, it's already started rusting. I've had to touch them up consistently with the file and the steel. But with the Cayugas, because they do use the right steels, essentially you never have to worry about that. I've literally had the arrow sitting in the quiver whilst walking through wet grass and never had any issues whatsoever. I've been in thick rain and once again never see any rust, and the arrows are ready to shoot no matter when it is, which is incredible. So that stainless steel that they use, I don't know exactly the grading, I just know it's tough, it does the job, and it gets the job done every time. And they are incredibly sharp straight from the packet, which is even better because you do not have to worry about being a skilled sharpener to get the job done, although that's obviously a skill that you will learn along the way to keep your broadheads mighty sharp. For right now, you do not have to worry when you get the broadheads out of the packet. So you guys can get a 10% discount when you use the code BAB10. That will get you 10% off of your next order at Cayuga Broadheads. That's BAB10, and that will get you 10% off of your next order at Cayuga Broadheads. This week's episode is also brought to you by the legends over at Dog and Gun Coffee. And not only do they have incredibly great tasting coffee that's ready for adventure, and Hog Chockey, which is also a great mix-in to have with your coffee, or if you're not a coffee drinker, just to have with you while you're in camp. But on top of that, they also offer these incredible shirts and different bits of apparel. I absolutely love their shirts. I've just got myself 3 new ones and I'm beyond stoked to wear them every single weekend. My favorite is probably the Red Stag. It's a big old Euro mount of a Red Stag with some arrows next to it and big Dog and Gun Coffee in the print, and I just absolutely love it. It's wearing the sign of a bow hunter loud and proud whilst you're out and about in the community. And to be honest, I've been pulled up a few times when I've been in parks with my kids and people are saying, "Oh, you drink their coffee? Oh, you're a hunter?" And it just opens up the conversation. But anyway, you guys can get yourself some great coffee ready for adventure or some incredible apparel when you use the code Bowhunter. It will get you $10 off your next order at Dog and Gun Coffee. That's Bowhunter, all in caps locks, and that will get you $10 off of your next order.
Hey there, and welcome to Becoming a Bowhunter. I'm your host, Matty, and join me and our guests as we take the quality of meat back into our own hands, searching the wild for free-ranged animals to harvest as ethically as we can. I interview a variety of specialists from the bow hunting community to help fast-track your journey as a bow hunter. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this chinwag on one of your favorite topics in the world, bow hunting.
Legend, what is up? Welcome back to another episode of Becoming a Bow Hunter. This is our very first On the Hunt podcast. I've got some new wireless mics and we took them out for a little spin with Mr. Benny Fensom. Absolutely love sharing camp with Benny. He is full of great vibes. He's got amazing stories. He brings the beers and he's just an all-round great bloke who is a massive advocate for bringing kids into hunting, as he always does. And on this podcast, hunting trip in particular, Benny brought his little son Lukey along, and we have he had some incredible stalks and experiences with Lukey, including after this podcast. After we recorded this, they actually got a fallow buck down together with Lukey and Corey's son Harry, and the boys, when the arrow disappeared, just like cheered their heads off. Yeah! It was such a cool story. It was just so cool to have them in camp and get them to kind of witness the excitement of what deer camp is. In this body in particular, it's when we're on a little hunt, like we said, so there's parts where you hear birds squawking like crazy. There's parts where Benny and I both go quiet because we're on the stalk. But the cool thing about it is that you kind of get to experience the chatter that goes on when you've got an animal at play, and the stalking methods that each person comes up with. And I think there's some pretty interesting segments in particular, because we're actually out with the stick bows at this point, and me being a compound shooter, usually I can deal with a little bit more distance. And it's interesting to kind of hear Benny's perspective on this is a better way to go, because you're going to be able to stalk in more closely. And I probably should have listened to it more often. It cost me a pig not doing so. Anyway, but I think this is just a great little experience. There is some parts where it might be a little hefty on the ears with the birds squawking. And we also use the fox predator, the squawker in general, and you will hear that. I've tried to dull it down as much as possible for you guys, so it's not deafening to the ears. But the cool thing is that you get to hear how Benny actually uses it. And they do call him the fox fingerer for a reason, because he is good at bringing the old foxes in quite regularly. And so there's a lot to take away from this podcast. If you guys love this, let me know, because I will do more variations of this on the hunt. If you don't love it, let me know also, because if it's too hard on the ears and you don't enjoy it, then that's also okay. And we will make sure that we're just in camp and having some chats in general. Either way, I'd love to hear from you guys. Benny would love to hear from you guys with feedback from his stories. Like I said, he's always got great stories. He always brings awesome vibes, and he is just an incredible dude. So here he is, Mr. Benny Fensom. Recording. We're fucking on. Look at this new system, hey? It's our first time ever going out for a hunt and doing a podcast. We'll see how it goes. Got Mr. Benny Fensom here with me.
Hey guys.
Benny, you actually came up in conversation when I was at Kev Shilf's Butcher Weekend, and it was Oscar Shepherd, and he goes, mate, I wish I did more of what Benny does with his kids when they were younger. He's like, there's that prime stage where you've got the perfect amount of time to get them really enthused about it and have them wanting to come out with you when they're older, versus trying to get them into it later in life. And he goes, he's like, I was too selfish with it because I always wanted to go out hunting, so I had limited time to hunt.
Yeah.
I'm like, I get that. Like, I 100% get it. But at the same time, like, you brought Lukey along this weekend, and he got here on Thursday night, and he couldn't get rid of his grin.
No.
He couldn't talk. He was fucking
He was
smiling
probably
that much.
excited, wasn't he? Poor little bugger. He come into camp and just sat on the table looking at everyone going like...
Overexcited. It was incredible.
Ask him a question, he couldn't even answer you, because it's like you just sit there smiling, nodding, and it's like, well, do you want something or not? And he just sit there smiling, nodding, and it's like... Oh, right, bud. I understand.
It was incredible, but I think there is so much to say to that, right? Like, you do just need to...
You're not being selfish by taking the time of going out by yourself either. It's
definitely not, no.
It's only, you
don't get much of it.
Like I said, it is all that drives me to do it was, not that, like, my old man took me to do, like, so much stuff as a kid. He just wasn't a hunter. So, whereas... I mean, somewhere inside me, even as a little kid, I was always driven, like, just wanted to go kill something.
Yeah.
I soon learnt the difference between being a killer and being a hunter, but I think that's what drives me to take him is...
Definitely.
Or take Amelia as well, is just simply, having that opportunity. I know him sitting at home when he's old enough now to say, Dad, can I come? Yeah. It's pretty wrong of me to... Well, there's a part of me... It's not wrong.
It's not wrong. No, it's definitely not.
But there's a part of me that just goes, how exciting is it going to be for him when I say yes?
Definitely. Yeah.
All right, bud. And like, yes, all right. Now Dad's back's going to hurt like shit, and my legs are going to hurt. But
well, it's funny because you guys have... we've got Corey here with his young boy too. Yeah. And he was actually like, hey, I'm bringing my son. And he thought everyone was going to get upset by it. This cow's going to fucking jump off the edge here. She has no idea what's going on.
This is going to be...
We're literally not even 5 minutes from this cow, and she's on the edge of a bank. Hey, love.
Yeah, move it along.
Yeah, man, you're all right.
She might put the wind up us, and this will be real funny recording.
But yeah, so Corey's brought his son. Like he said he was going to bring his son. There she goes, finally. Yeah. Got the hint. And you're like, I'm going to jump on that straight away. Like, I'll bring Lukey. And like you said, it makes it easier on the family in the sense of, like, we were talking about this the other day. Like, I always thought
the older my girls got, the easier it would be to go away hunting, but it's actually
It gets
a bit
harder.
the opposite.
Yep.
Especially like the age they're in, where they do need a lot of attention. When they're young, they want to be active and doing their bits and pieces, and
Yep.
it usually requires some form of supervision.
And
I almost jumped on and said, you know what, I'll bring Mads too, but
yep.
it'd just be
Yeah, it's a like, and too, in a comparison to that, like you're traveling 9
hours, yeah, exactly.
10 hours, like it's not exactly, even, so it might be 5 hours for me, but it's still, the opportunity for me to come and do this is obviously that bit higher than what
I get.
what you get. So
Yeah.
like, you're not being unselfish or being selfish by going, right, kids, Dad's going to take a weekend to have some dad time.
Yeah.
Do what you enjoy doing.
Well, that's exactly right, and that's why I say to my wife all the time, like, you know what, I'm definitely a better person for going hunting.
Oh.
Like,
Yep.
the freedom it gives you, just, I don't know, it's refreshing, right? It fills up your cup. I fucking talked about it 100 times over, but
Yeah.
I'll preach it to the end of the day. It's because there's just such a truth to it.
And it's funny, like the first walk with Lukey the other morning, me and Lukey went for our walk just by ourselves. Anyway, only walked a couple hundred metres and come across 2 good boars.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that was pretty exciting, and that set the bar real high for Lukey because he just thought that this is it. Yeah, like this is it.
I think it's good to teach them both sides of it then, right?
And hang on, I might have something here.
That wind's not great.
No, it's a rock. You shoot it. You can drag it back.
I don't want to take after you too much.
yeah, exactly. I'll teach you how to shoot them. But and then obviously after like about half an hour after that, things got a bit quiet. Oh, we had a shot at a pretty good boar, and killed the rock, so that was good. And so then he got a bit impatient, I guess, because things weren't happening.
Yep.
And he's like, "Oh, Dad, might just go back now." And I'm like, "Oh man, like, the sun's not even up, like, And I was like, "How about we just go on an adventure?" And it's the way you put it in the kids' eyes now.
Yeah.
When you put it in the kids' eyes, it's all right, we're hunting. You've got to be looking for animals. You've got to be looking for this, and you sort of put too much of an expectation on them.
Oh, definitely.
Like, this is what I do, not.
I think in general.
But someone might be able to take something for it. Is as soon as I said, "How about we just go on an adventure, Lukey?" Wow. Then he wanted to walk up every gully, every climb, every tree.
Exactly.
And
perspective, right? Big change.
Yeah, that was the difference. Like, and then he walked. He did probably 1.7 up, 1.7 back for a bloody 4-year-old.
Incredible, right?
He
little
did.
Legs.
Yeah, he did friggin' well.
It was funny because we came and walked this creek with him yesterday during our lunch break. We came down lunch break.
Lunch break.
We came and walked the creek, and he was so excited to be here. But at the same time, we're talking and walking. He's like, "Dad, wait up!" Poor little legs, you forget.
4 of our steps to 1 of our steps to 4 of his. I think, poor little bugger.
But we're actually out, so.
Yeah, why don't you tell them what you got in your hand?
I mean, yeah, you guys will probably hear more about this. I'm sure we'll do another episode at some point, at least that's the goal. But freaking incredible community of guests that have been on my podcast. Pretty much Adam Barter, really one of my best mates. He reached out to everyone and said, "Hey, we should organise Matty a gift." At least I'm assuming this is how it went down.
Pretty well, mate. Yeah.
Organise Matty a gift to say congrats on the 5 years of podcasting. And Randy kind of helped orchestrate it because he knows everyone within Bowhunting pretty much. And sure enough, all the previous guests have got together and bought me this incredible fucking trad bow. So we've got a Stalker stick bow, a long bow. It's a 60 pounder. And it's got a little engraving on the side, or a little burn-in with Becoming a Bowhunter logo on it. So when they gave it to me last night, to be honest, I almost cried. I still almost cry. I think about it just because I'm bloody overwhelmed with gratitude for what the crew have done here for me. But at the same time, it's awesome because we did a little call last night with a few of the people who had contributed to it, and they were just saying it's a gratitude piece from them as well because of what the podcast has meant and done for so many people. Which is funny because I was saying to Benny last night, like, you know it. Like, I know that people listen, obviously. I see the numbers each week and I see how many thousand people are listening or whatever, and it's just there's a disconnect because you don't see the thousands of people.
Yeah.
Like honestly, the podcast gets 15 to 20k plays at times, and you're like, you don't. I don't know that many people, and I mean, even going to Kev's weekend a few weekends, like the butchering course that Kev did a few weeks ago, you start to. Is it on? Jump on electric fence. Like even that, I saw nine guys who've all listened to the podcast. You're like, oh fuck, like. Of course, there's faces to the people that listen, the names that you talk to on Facebook and or Instagram, whatever. You just forget about it. Not that you forget about it. You know they're all humans, right? But at the same time, it's
just
like
puts it into perspective.
It really does put it in perspective. But yeah, so I'm fucking absolutely chuffed, and we're gonna go try Blood and Arrow. We saw some pigs, or Benny saw some pigs down here earlier in the creek. So Benny gave me a full rundown. We did it last time too. We went through pretty much like the Joel Turner method in a sense of not actually talking anything about what he talks about, but more so the actual actions of the piece in a sense.
Putting the process together. Not like all that was taught to me by Jack and Ash, which they spent a bit of time with Joel and took bits and pieces from what he had to show them and stuff like that. And Ash just in himself is just he'll go fuck off, but he is just a naturally gifted dude with a stick bow, and
accurate out to 100 meters.
It's just like if you're not going to listen to him, well, you may as well put a bow down because and he corrected a few of my faults when I spend time with him in the bush. He just always fine-tuning things to a degree, It might be just taking the piss out of you, but you even listen to that.
No, exactly,
there's Corey's ball.
Dead ball.
We better have a quick look at him.
Yeah. But there's so much validity to it. Like, we were just saying yesterday, even you watching me I did all of probably 10 shots, maybe.
Yeah.
With you watching me and just tweaking one small thing each time. And it just makes such a big difference. You're like, oh, cool, okay. And it starts to become a perfect practice rather than just practicing.
Yeah.
Flies already on him. Actually, I shot a pig yesterday, like last night. And we just left him on the fence line, like really close to where we parked. And we came back this morning, and already the vultures, not the vultures, we don't live in America, the eagles and stuff had got into him. Like when we got there was crows on him, but they started his throat, and they just ripped it all apart. Like they're pretty much just getting into his head straight away.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy to see, like just in one night, what can be done.
Oh, no, they especially get a few foxes and stuff around, and they don't take long to.
We actually driving back last night. There's a dead kangaroo on the road. Like half of it even, and these two foxes were on it.
Yeah,
and we went back this morning.
Matty lost his shit.
I did, yeah. So keen. But
these pigs were just in here somewhere.
Okay.
I wonder how our hunting voices will work on the podcast.
Yeah. We'll be quieter now. No. The other thing is, what time is it? 2:30.
2. The wind's pretty good. They were feeding out in this grass here when we come down. Like this is
they didn't
2 hours ago.
Corey shot it all?
Yeah, they just moved back down in the creek here. They weren't too fussed, but there was more as well. There was more up by these trees.
Yeah, okay.
There was
This is that field we ended up in that day, wasn't it? Oh no,
we were at the other side of the house. Yeah.
Yeah.
But all this long grass.
Grass is long. It's all buggery. Probably hip height, so you can't really see much in it. But yeah, I think what I was getting to before is like, if you don't have someone to watch you, then film your stuff, because even that was the next thing you did, you just filmed.
Your back tension, I said to Matty, I was like, pull back harder. Back tension harder. And he's like, I am. Anyway, I videoed it. And then I videoed a couple of differences in the shots, and not one shot was the same. And I was like, righto. And then as soon as you got that right, all of a sudden, 2 arrows at bloody 30 metres.
Cue, right? It made a fucking massive difference. And the biggest thing was seeing the visual as well.
Yeah.
Because you're like, your arrow is moving back and forward, like it's penetrating forward and back, forward and back.
It's almost like a piston, wasn't it?
Yeah. That was, it was a good little insight to make me go, okay, hold the back wall harder.
Yep. Yeah, just that. Here we go. Just that in there.
got something.
No, stick.
Stick.
One will have a heartbeat shortly.
Damn log pigs and stick pigs and stuff.
Yeah. It'd be interesting.
So we pretty much discovered that we're maybe a few days early for a pre-rut even.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys have had a little bit.
Well, me and Corey have had 2 stands and called up 3 bucks.
Yeah,
So
far out, yeah.
it's definitely happening. It's just still just on the slower start.
Yeah, definitely.
Um,
Let's just say they're not living up to their aggressiveness, right? They're known for their aggressiveness
yeah.
and that's not happening as such. They're a bit more slow to.
Yeah, still not quite fired up, but
Yeah.
they're definitely, if you can put yourself in the right spot, the right distance, they definitely you can nearly convince them to come and have a look.
Yeah. I think it's a stick as well. I'll hop in the creek.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, if we jump over,
Can't see anything through
it was just part of me says they're going to be.
up on the edge.
Well, they're
there.
just milling around out in this grass. You know, they weren't.
I'm also thinking,
But they could be milling around in this grass too.
yeah, true. But if we're in the creek, you can't see the grass at all.
Listen to Matty and Bed's world problems when we're hunting together.
I mean, this is the best part about hunting with someone is that you get to bounce all the ideas off of them, right?
We can't make up our mind where we want to go.
Yeah, see, walking through those rocks, that's just going to be...
Yeah, what if we jump over there and get in that long grass? We can still see over the creek there.
Yeah, okay. What's this wind doing?
It's pretty good.
Where's it going? Yeah, it's still flying back. Okay. How much do you use your wind checker?
Lots.
I use mine next to none now.
Really?
Yeah, since hunting with Clark McGee, it was like, mate, you should learn how to learn how to not use that.
I think now you've said that, I think it's just a habit because I already know which way the wind's going when I puff the wind puffer, but I do it anyway, so.
Absolutely gale and a breeze, and you just check anyway.
Yeah.
Stealthy rock jumps.
They'll be going, listen to these noisy bastards walk through the scrub. If we can hear this, I can imagine all the pigs and shit that are trying to sneak up on.
If we don't see anything, we'll know why.
Yeah, might be a combination of our footsteps or us just walking along having a good old yarn. But
Yeah.
anyway,
At the same time, I've been quite fascinated with how much we can get away with as well.
Oh, you can get a lot. How many times are you walking through the bush having a yarn and all of a sudden you go, oh, stop,
yeah,
stop.
there's something right there.
Right there.
I mean,
Oh, look at this. Is that a wombat hole or a pig bed?
I think it's not a log. Look at that hole. I saw my first wombat today
Well, there you go.
out in the wild. That was pretty cool. A big old hole.
Love to see you get chased by one.
He was right on the edge of his hole. And I thought to myself, like, it's not a very safe mechanism. Like, I thought that was the edge of it. Like, I thought that was literally all he had.
Yep.
And he knew something was up. And I took a step, and he just takes off into his burrow. I'm like, oh no, that makes sense. Like, he's actually got a hole he can get into.
Yep.
Does anything attack them?
What's that?
Wild dogs would get into wombats, wouldn't they?
Yeah. They freaking get into people too.
Wild dogs or wombats.
Wombats.
I wondered that. Like, I was standing literally...
I've been chased by one, the bastards. Cranky.
I was standing like a metre off him. Like,
Here we go. What's that? What's that?
No. Damn logs. It's good. Got me a little bit excited.
Yeah. It'll happen. They're in here. Yeah, definitely in here. If not, we're going to go out for a nighttime mission tonight with the thermal and
We should do that anyway.
Matty's stick bow and have a bit of fun.
Down under the tree.
Yeah,
It's,
I was looking at that.
it's not super hot, so it could still be... Yeah, no, it's still logs.
I tell you what though, have a go at this here. Fuck, we've come too far forward.
What?
But this is like a little elevated spot here. I know we're hunting pigs, but
It's fucking throwing the wind.
no, but it's a great spot to call a fox.
Let's do it.
May as well have a go, eh?
Yeah.
Well,
It's going to get really loud with this squawker in a second, guys. Sorry about that.
yeah, well, I don't know. We can pause it or we can just let it roll.
No, let it roll.
You have a listen to it, I guess. And
Yeah, if it sounds horrible, I might edit it. If not, you just got to deal with the squawker.
only to see how we got the height here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This bit of lighter grass.
Okay.
We'll both just, if you put your back to that tree and I'll hide behind the tree.
I get asked all the time about the squawker, or fox whistles in general. What's this one called again?
Scotch Predator
Scotch
caller.
Predator caller.
Yeah.
I always look it up. Every time someone asks me, I go back to Google. I'm like, big black wang, what is it?
Big black wang. Yeah.
What do you reckon? Stand in front?
Go into the, yeah, or I always try and have the tree at me back.
Yeah.
Just due to, obviously I can stand behind the tree because I haven't got a bow in my hand. So it's,
Gives you space to be able to pull back.
as well, it gets spoken about. I think you spoke about it many times. See, ideally, see how we've got this big log here in front of us.
Yeah.
Draw the picture. Hopefully he comes up here and walks behind this log to walk up on this bank here.
Or up here.
Or there.
Yeah.
And you'd shoot him right there.
Yep.
Or he'll come under this log here.
Oh, yeah.
And walk through the grass and you'll, touch wood, you'll shoot him right there. But
awesome.
Anyway, we'll go quiet for a minute and we'll have a go. Of course, the wind goes and changes when you don't want it to.
It's been the theme of the weekend.
Such a great spot.
I don't know how much the listeners can hear, but there's stirred the birds right up.
Oh, there's that blood on that rock.
It could be. Might just be some sap from this old boy.
The tree, I hope.
It's happened twice now where the butterflies move. along the top
Oh,
of it.
yeah.
And I'm like, oh, fucking fox.
Mate.
Nope.
They got a bloody sickening way of just being able to
Pop up just out of nowhere.
pop out of nowhere right when you bloody least expect it.
How long will you usually squawk in one spot?
Oh, that's the thing. It's just like anything. You never stay here long enough.
Yeah,
Like, you're always impatient. Go to the next. Generally, I'll just move
a little bit.
Like, we're in the combination of 2 hunts. We're looking for pigs, but it's such a good-looking spot. We're having a go at calling a fox. But if I'm just calling foxes, like, I'd just move from here, even to just that tree.
Yeah, well,
and you wouldn't believe the difference.
it's like 30 metres.
Yeah, that might be why I miss all the time, if that's 30. But something as simple as, like I said, the cedar tree up in the gully up there, like, you move up to that single little stand, similar stand, but it's in a depression, so it's not great because I'll just pop over.
Yeah, you won't see them at all. Also, the bear fox looking at you.
Like, I'll just keep moving along, and it's amazing. Like, you can go from here and move to there and call, and within 30 seconds you've got a fox at your feet.
It's like they're already on their way in. They're just.
Wow.
What do you reckon? It's the fact that they think it's now closer and more attainable.
I think it's a combination of both. Yeah, I reckon sometimes they just can't be bothered to wander out and have a look. But once you get that little bit closer, they just go, oh, all right, come on.
You convinced me. Yeah. We actually saw a really small little fox trying to get crickets last night on our walk back.
Yeah,
Just saw his eyes, and he just popped up and just sat there, and our wind's blowing right at him, and he just looked at us. He was just hanging out until we started taking some steps towards him, and he was gone.
Yep.
But
if they think you can't see them, sorry, I'm just putting my sparker away. Put me black wang away. If they think that you can't see them, they'll just sit there normally. But they're
I never knew how much the crickets hung out on the surface.
Oh yeah,
Of the night time the other night when we were walking back, and these I probably saw, I don't know, maybe 10 crickets in the space of one hill.
Yeah, right.
What's that bird?
That one.
That one.
Oh, I think they're a currawong. Aren't
Really?
they?
Yeah, that's it.
Well, they're definitely black and white.
Must be a New South Wales one.
It's
different in Queensland.
They look like a currawong. They're not a currawong, but they look like one. They're black. They're black with. They got white on them.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure that's what it is. Maybe.
Oh well.
That'll just spinning bullshit.
Nose up to that next tree.
Yeah, might as well. Just let all the pigs know we're here.
Yeah.
Cockies know we're here.
Go on. The cockies will only be happy if we go home with a fox.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because that's the house. Yeah, far out.
Yeah, I reckon up in this corner, I'm pretty sure there's another patch of, real long patch of grass.
This grass is so long though that they could be fucking anywhere.
Oh, and laying
you
in.
wouldn't see them at all.
See, my adventurous self just wants to
Duck over.
just duck over and
It's like last time we were
Matty's
hunting. we couldn't come to an agreement on which edge to look over because we knew they'd all be good.
yeah, and I said to Matty, welcome to my world. My head drove a hunt by myself and just freaking I end up bloody doing zigzags.
I think that's everybody when they're hunting by themselves.
Yeah.
Especially if your wind's not 100% in the one direction or whatever.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, this hill looks good. Even that, like, there could be a pig right there and you wouldn't have any idea. It's knee-high grass or probably hip-height grass.
Blows out, scares the shit out of us.
Yeah.
They're here somewhere. They'll be here.
They'll be here.
Anyway, we had a pretty cool experience with the boys this morning. Corey and I took both the boys. Corey's young fella's turning four on Monday.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
No way. Fresh shit, look at that.
And
That's
look,
very fresh.
they're right here somewhere.
Yeah.
Maybe we should put our hunting voices on again for a second.
That's all right. They won't be
Have a sneak
too ready to run. It's fresh with the pig shit, just so everyone knows.
She got steam coming off her. Matty licked it.
theme, hey? we're having a laugh because yesterday when Ben was teaching me how to shoot the recurve again properly. Oh, what's up there? Is that a fucking head? I don't think so. Ben was showing me exactly where to put my finger in the corner of my mouth by putting his finger in the corner of my mouth. And he did it once. And I said, what was that? Show me again. And he did it again. And I licked his finger. And he just started laughing. He goes, mate, I just put baby powder all over my ass with that finger. So of course that was a good laugh for everyone.
That's going to make me laugh till the day I die.
Yeah.
Look at the pig beds in here.
Yeah, you can see the little holes. Look at that. It's like a little highway around there.
Yeah, we're getting closer, Matty.
We are getting closer. See, once again, they could just be in this little fucking grassy patch here.
It's going to happen. You watch you go from 0 to 100 when we do find them.
Yeah, I bet. Keep going with your story about the boys this morning.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I got distracted.
That's all right.
You wouldn't read about it. And yeah, anyway, Corey's young fella, my young fella's 4.5, and we set up in this big basin, and just sort of, Corey's got a pretty crook knee, I've got a pretty crook neck. We both weren't feeling really enthusiastic to carry the boys' Ks on Ks today, so thought, bugger it, we'll just get in a good spot and have a bit of a rattle, and yeah, doesn't look like pig Emmett. And anyway, so we're having a bit of a rattle, and nothing for a while, and then we had a bit of a croak, and we had a bit of a bashing of trees and more bashing of antlers, and then Corey had another croak, and next minute this deer sparked up about 100 metres below us in the gully, started croaking, and anyway, Lukey's eyes, and it just lit up, like, you know, it's, I'm just going to go quiet here for a second. There you go.
Big old boar just fucking ran out on us. I was just thinking, it's like the perfect little hidey hole. He was
There you go.
tucked away.
As I just said, I'm just going to go quiet here for a second because this looks too good to be true. Boof.
Sure enough.
Out blows the pig.
Right. No, that's one of them rock pigs.
Rock pig.
Mate, he was a black and white boar, but he was just so hidden.
Yeah, the bugger.
He just tucked themselves in so well.
He won't be the only one along here.
No, he won't. Right, we said we're getting close.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, Lukey's eyes, they lit up, and Corey said his young fella was the same, you know, just hearing this deer croak for the first time, and it was a really nice, deep, you know.
Mate, that was me last night when I heard him.
So imagine getting to experience that for the first time when you're 4.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
like,
Everything heightened by 100,000.
it's yeah, so he's just got proper excited now after a bit of cat and mouse for a while, croaking and rattling and doe calling and whatever. We managed to call these actually 2 bucks come walking up, and they just walked up. They weren't in a hurry, and yeah, they literally moseyed around in front of us for a couple of minutes and right into about 20 metres, and yeah, like the boys' eyes were just sitting there just watching these deer, you know, instead of like generally when you're rattling or whatever, the deer comes in hot, it's there for seconds. You either have a shot or you don't, and it's gone. Whereas these things just walked in casual as, you know, boys couldn't have had a better experience. And yeah, good old dad shot under him at about, yeah, probably 25 metres, something like that. So
What do you reckon happens there? Because you've been doing it a bit right. You shoot over on target than under on live critters. Is that what it is, or opposite?
Oh, mate, I can't tell you what it is. It's called stick bow hunting. You're about to feel, you got one in your hands right now, you're about to feel the hurt. But no, like my shooting's great, consistent shooting with the target. Like I'm freaking dead. My target's at 20 metres. I'm so confident it's not funny, but it doesn't seem to matter. Like anyone will say, anyone that's spent time, anyone. Well,
in the flesh,
got to be careful saying anyone can shoot targets, but at the end of the day, it's not even like I get uncomfortable in the situation of shooting deer or pigs. Today was just unlucky. Is that a pig? I reckon I found a pig. Maybe.
Half confidence.
See, look. I don't know. Might be a rock.
The white thing?
No, the black thing between the trees. It's like a black.
Oh, yeah. It's not moving very much.
No, it's moving all right.
Yeah, I reckon it's a...
What is it?
I think it's a set of rocks.
Yeah, could be. See, maybe that's my problem. Maybe I see rocks instead of pigs. But this, like today, obviously, my preparation to everything was right. I was actually on my knees, and then when old mate gave me the opportunity to stand up coming in, I chose to stand up just due to the direction they were heading.
Yeah.
And I managed to stand up, but obviously when I stood up, I didn't really take in what was behind me, and when I went to full draw, my elbow actually went smack straight into a tree.
Yeah.
And with the angle of the hill and everything that was going on, and everyone will say, rookie, always make sure you can go to full draw. Well, I could when I was sitting there.
Yeah, exactly. But also had a lot of things going on when you're managing kids.
Yeah, exactly. And mate, at the end of the day, it didn't matter. Like my mind probably wasn't really focused to the point
of having to kill.
Exactly. I was just in the moment with Lukey, like it dead set. His face was just, it was priceless.
Rock from another angle.
Yeah, I reckon we jump back over that side.
I think
now,
we should. It actually looks really good over those logs there.
So anyway, I ended up shooting just under. He actually seen the arrow coming, and I reckon it's because I was only at 3/4 draw. And,
just a bit slower.
By rights, I probably should have just let down, but it's like, as soon as you're at that point, man, with the stick bow, the arrow just, it's like your brain's disconnected to your fingers. It just lets it go, even when sometimes when you don't want it to.
I mean, it's one of the things I actually really like about the stick bow is the speed of it. Right? Like, you can probably get almost 2 or 3 shots away in the time that you get 2 shots on a compound.
It's unbelievable. The practicality of doing stuff like rattling and stuff like that is unbelievable, because you can literally adapt to the situation so easily, not having sights and not having to do all the things when you're an instinctive shooter. You can just snap shoot, and that literally takes less than a second. Hardest part about that, like with stick bow rattling, is obviously once you're at full draw, if you've got to hold draw for a minute, it hurts. Which is a difficult thing to do.
Yeah, I don't know if I could. I definitely couldn't right now.
And that's something you've got to consider. I'm going to go quiet again for a second, because I'm thinking that
this looks real good.
There's going to be another critter in here, I reckon.
We've just come to a space where there's a lot of deadfall logs, which is similar to what we were in before. And we saw the little pig. So I'm just going to nosy through a bit. That wind's up the fucking... Seen something?
No.
Under the tree there?
Yeah, it's a log.
Yeah. I guess
we're definitely going to have another call here.
Yeah, that's for
sure. We'll get in them thick pines.
Let's just have a quick fucking
geezer in under this.
Yeah.
I'm going and beat little Jack Russell for you.
Right now. There's, looks like a good place for a pig to have a little nap, like what we just busted the boar out of. There's diggings, pig diggings all around the place. Just no pigs. I'm just going to look over the edge here. Plenty of sign. Just no pigs. Plenty of sign.
I'll put you here. I'm going to go there.
Okay.
Little
Set
call.
off for another squawk. Just gonna pull my face mask up. Every time we go to do a call, I need to piss so bad. Even this morning when we're doing it with the rattles.
You good? He's just over having a leak. Now's when the fox comes running in. They make it their mission to destroy you.
It's had like 100 cockatoos land in the tree above us.
Some of the best goddamn fox calling looking country.
What was that?
Like just the terrain's freaking
Incredible
like
for it.
perfect.
I often, whenever I'm gone in boxes off and look at the other birds around the place as well.
That's a huge thing to keep an eye on.
Yeah, because they'll give it away when there's something coming in. These ones up on the fence line up here, they start acting a bit weird.
Yep.
But there's nothing up there that I can see.
That you can see.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Doesn't mean there's nothing there.
See out here, the magpies swooping out here in the grass. Yeah. Watch out here.
Very interesting.
Yeah, some stands like I've called at for 5-10 minutes, which seems like such a long time when you're doing this. But then all of a sudden you'll just have one come rocking in. Yeah,
I think it's the classic example of when you're not patient enough, right? And you start walking, you pack everything up, and you walk, and there's a fox right there looking at you.
Or you do this and you turn around and there's one sitting right there going, hey, you dickhead.
No, that's half of it. It's
I wouldn't mind betting there's something out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, minor birds are a good
Indicator. Yeah.
Going off.
Yeah. It's like a real chirpy little.
Yeah. Always a great So you notice, like, with this too, is I move this around a lot.
Yeah, you do.
In the direction. Just so, like, instead of just like standing here pointing it up there, like I just turn it as I'm squawking, so I'll point it out in the paddock there.
I notice you often muffle it as well.
Yeah, it works really well doing this. Could you imagine like a hare or something with a fox or something got hold of it? Yeah. That there.
Like it has your head in the mouth or something.
Yeah, just like fighting for its life pretty well.
Yeah. What's the closest shot you've ever done with your trad bow on an animal?
Closest?
Yeah.
I've shot fox at my feet, like literally, but the best one I ever did was actually my first fallow buck. I shot it at, I don't know, I think when I put my photo up about it, I think I put about 3 or 4 metres.
Yeah, wow.
But it was actually closer. But people would just call bullshit and say,
exactly.
fucking full of shit. But
Benny Fensom, I'll tell you what.
Yeah, they say that anyway. Doesn't worry me. But it was, what was that? It was so close that I was actually scared the arrow was going to hit the deer before it come off the bow. And that's no bullshit. Like,
far out. What, he came in fucking on rattle?
No. So we had a rattle, and actually I had one coming in, and I shot him quartering on. First deer I'd ever shot quartering on with the first buck I'd ever shot quartering on with the stick bow, and I hit him in the leg bone. Like, tried to do a compound shot on him, and fucking just got 2 inches of pano and wounded the deer, and it ran off with my arrow and never to be seen again. And I was pretty cranky with myself, and I said, I'll never do that again. Anyway, we sat there and we're sitting up on top of this hill and looking down in this valley, and here's this young buck, nothing special. Like, he was nothing special at all, but I was just after a buck with me stick bow. Didn't matter what it was. And anyway, spotted old mate down the bottom of the gully, and he must have found a bit of like hot doe piss, because he just had his nose in the grass. Like, he just would not. We thought he was eating to start with, but then like his nose was just buried in the grass, and he just like wasn't moving, if that makes sense.
That's interesting.
And that's all I can put it down to. And anyway, he's I said, bugger it. He was about 600 metres away. And I was like, I'm going to sneak down. There's bracken fern and all that down along this gully. I'm going to, make the most of trying to make a stalk on this fella.
Yeah.
And sure enough, as soon as I moved, like probably 100 metres towards him, he'd been standing there for an hour and a half, it felt like. Probably wasn't that long, but it was a bloody long time.
Yeah.
And I'd wasted all that time him standing still. And of course, once I moved, he started to move. I was like, Anyway, he ended up coming up the gully towards us, and he was completely, like, he had no idea that we were there, weren't rattling, weren't calling or anything like that. And he walked up to a tree down the gully, about 100 metres down in front of me, and started sort of doing a little preach, and rattling his antlers around in the... This is really hard to tell stories and hunt.
Yeah, it is a bit.
Anyway, so he's just brushing his antlers in the gum tree, and then there was another tree in front of me about 55 metres, and he walked up to it and did the same thing. But then he started to walk away, like he started to head up the hill, like away from me, and my mate's sitting up behind me, and anyway, about 25 metres up above the hill behind me. And I thought, maybe he might get a go at him. And then next minute, this deer's just turned and is walking. I'm standing on a very steep hill with the uphill side to my right. And I'm standing on a pad. And I've got a tree, one single tree at my back on this pad. Yeah. And anyway, he's just started beelining it on this pad straight at me. And I'm like... all of a sudden, then you go from being fine to the heart, like
going crazy,
pulsating, and anyway, he came into like about 10 metres, and I was at half draw because I was trying to draw slowly, and how hard that is with a freaking stick bow. I was working that out real quick, and anyway, he pinned me, like he's seen me, and he's looking straight at me, and I'm like, I'm busted, but I was like, he was like all but front on, but still slightly quartering on. Yeah. And I'm like, I'm not shooting him. Like, I was like, no. Takes discipline. Like, I was like, it just, after an hour before.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, I'm not doing that again. So anyway, it's just freak, I couldn't believe it, but he's just like put his head down, they walk along and just put the head up and down. I don't know whether it's to pick up scent or
I'm not
like
sure.
where they put their nose to the ground, walk, and they put their head up.
Yeah.
Well, he's done that. He went down, up, and then as like he's walking to me, and I'm going, I don't want to shoot him because he's like still quartering on, and he's that goddamn close to me. He put his head down, and as he put his head down, he's on the uphill side of me.
Yeah.
I shot him like that,
far out,
and the arrow went in the top side of his shoulder.
Yeah.
So you picture how close he is for the arrow to go in the top side of his shoulder, and it come out his brisket. He was there.
What time of year was this?
Like during the rut.
Like meaning, do you not remember the dates at all?
I'd be able to look at the photo.
Yeah. Okay.
But it, I honestly thought that when he put his head back up, his antlers were going to hit me, and that's fucking.
How do you react? You hit him, and he just fucking took off.
He just like bounced. I bounced. Like I jumped when I shot. Honestly, because I thought it was just going to definitely. And me mate up the hill just go. You just hear him straight away because you just see the broadhead sticking out the brisket, and it was just a
trail.
It was just a hose of blood coming out the brisket because it just went straight through where it needed to. And he's like, fuck yeah, that's how you do it. And I was like, and then he ran up the hill 20 metres, did the old back leg, wheelie, and then rolled back down the hill towards me. And that was my first buck with a stick bow, and
Mate, that is incredible.
like you try and tell that story like as if like, mate, it was gonna literally rub its antlers on me. It thought I was a fuck. It convinced itself that I was a tree.
Yeah,
I'm sure of
well,
it
I mean-
because I was like, fuck. And honestly, people like that's why I didn't even bother telling the whole story when I expressed my story with the photo because
Yeah.
I was like, people would just go, this
Dude, they
bloke's
won't
fucking,
believe
he's on drugs. This bloke.
You don't walk into people like that. Mate, that's the crazy thing. It's like obviously the more time you have in the bush, the more you start to witness these things, these occurrences and stuff. But like,
Yeah.
I think I've heard it all, and then I hear stories like that. You're like, wow.
Yeah, and like well, I'm sure there's plenty of bow hunters that have done it, but I've like walked up and just grabbed like a bedded pig asleep by the tail, like put the bow down and just sneak up and just go grab him by the tail, and then it's a real freaking hoot of a time trying to work out who's going to run which way when you let him go.
Yeah. Hopefully he doesn't have big teeth on him. Should we keep nosing around here a bit?
Yeah, I reckon we go up here another couple of hundred. And,
Turn back. It's getting pretty late anyway.
Yeah.
Meaning ready for deer camp.
but yeah, so that's that was my first. That's my first buck with a stick bow, but that's probably my most memorable. Oh, bronzies! Oh no, that's like my absolute top trophy that I have been trying to kill for years.
Really?
The bronze winged pigeon with a fucking bow.
Yeah, wow. Do you have flues for them? Oh, look, here we go. Pig down here.
Oh yeah.
In the creek. How good. What's our wind doing?
I go on this way.
Going this way.
Yeah.
Have to go around. Just bed down.
Oh, beautiful. Well, I reckon we start.
I think we go straight up. Yeah. We got a little white and gingerish looking sow maybe. She's just bedded up in front of us, fucking 30 metres, 40 metres. So we're just walking along the edge of the bank here. We're literally going to be able to walk straight in on top of her and take a shot. There's a white one there too. Black and white.
Shit's about to get real. Just gotta watch that. We're right in a minute. Matty. I reckon with that wind, I reckon we should go down here, get on that grass, because that'd be quiet as. Like if we can get these trees, get on that grass, you'll literally get like a 3-metre shot.
Just worry about that log that's going to block us on top of that grass. Have a look, they've buried themselves in underneath this log over here.
Just have a look. They're all of their asses do this. You'd be pretty right, just as long as when you get there, that wind doesn't that tree. Yep, right. Have a go, Matty. Let's go. Oh.
Just shot under this pig. It's alright. That was a pretty long shot. Just gonna go up and try and find the arrow real quick. Another fucking pig. another piglet that I didn't take a shot in. A bit too close to oh, commotion's happening now. Bit of excitement. Mate, my line was good.
Yeah, no, it was good.
Just a bit low.
Now you feel my pain.
Yeah, exactly. Nothing wrong with the shooter.
Just a bow and arrows, I swear.
Yeah.
The good tradesman always blames their tools.
Too late for me to ask for an exchange on this one? No, I'm kidding.
Well, that was exciting.
What was that? I'm just looking at this arrow real quick.
Yeah, it's here somewhere, isn't it?
Oh, I thought they came up here. Maybe you're right. Should be in here somewhere, yeah. I think it buried in pretty good.
Oh, did it?
Back this way, bro.
Yeah, I thought I seen it skip.
What was that?
I thought I could see the glow knock from back there.
You probably could. Green glow knock.
Yeah. There. I reckon that's. Is that where it's hit?
Potentially.
Maybe I'm seeing things.
Yeah, good bit of excitement.
Yeah. It was.
It was definitely further away than I wanted it to be. What do you reckon happened there? They were all fine, and then do you think it had its head sticking out of this?
The one I was seeing old mate under the log as soon as you took a few steps, prick his ears. And
yeah, got you.
I think once he pricked his ears and we were still moving, he
You know, I was thinking as soon as we took a few steps as well, the wind just died on us.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking back to when we were there with the foxes, the way the wind kept pulling that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
No, wait, where's this bloody arrow? It should be just here somewhere. It's always the way with arrows.
This is a full quiver of arrows out of Benny's bow, so they're disposable anyway, aren't they? Just have a look down here. See.
It just shows they all
Here it
hang
is.
out.
I was on the right track.
You got it. You were right. It was way further up. Did it smack that rock?
No,
that.
she's intact.
It's not ready to go.
She's actually still pretty good.
How do you decide which broadhead you're going to roll with?
I've been using a combination of, like as in the Zots or the
Zots,
pilot
old
cuts.
school pilot cut. What do you?
So I'm a huge fan of the pilot cuts.
Yeah, just the blood trail they leave, right?
Just everything about them. Like even with the stick bow, they just perform. They're bomb proof.
Yeah.
You know, I honestly don't think I've ever broken one or
use them
had one.
with?
I use them without.
Yeah.
Only because using the stick, like I was using a 175 grain, which it's a fair lump of a head to try and push through bone.
Definitely.
And of no fault of the head, I've started using the old schools and I'm giving these Zots a go, which they're actually really good as well.
Yeah.
I don't think it really matters which head you use from the boys. They're all
they're all
brilliant.
I mean, obviously, yeah. That's why I'm asking the question.
As far as I'm happy to use any of them to answer the question, but the Zots, I had a few. So, like I said, no fault where I was going with that. No fault of the broadhead, but I shot a few really big padded bores with a pilot, like 175 grain pilot cut broadside, and just had the arrow lock up in the pad.
Yeah, okay.
Which I'm using a stick bow, 60 pound, 59, 60 pound stick bow. And even a compound would struggle to punch through
that.
some of the pads on these bores, which comes down to my fault. I should be picking my shot placement and angle more on them bigger critters. But you know what it's like at 10 metres when there's a big ass ball broadside, you think
you're good. Right?
Well, you do, and like I said, it's not a...
I mean, I punched through one and not even my 73-pound bow got full penetration.
Yeah.
On it. Like, I mean, it smacked it. It went all the way through.
Yep.
But, like, it didn't punch out the other side. That's when you go, wow, those fighting pads are freaking, they're tough.
Yeah, and that's where, so is basically Jack and I mucking around out at Warren, we were having a hell of a lot of opportunities on big pigs. And I thought, well, bugger it, I'll try giving something just thinner, something a lot easier for a stick bow to try and push through bone. And
essentially, that was a
pad.
Interesting thing that Randy was saying to me the other day when I was asking which broader she used. He goes, well, he was just talking about the difference between the pilot cut and the trizot. What are we on here? And he was saying, you think about the trizot with the thinness of the blades. He's like, imagine getting a sweet potato and chopping a sweet potato with your hunting knife versus like a boning knife. Like
Yep.
the difference of that, and you know your boning knife is going to make it easier to slice through.
Yep.
Versus the hunting knife's going to do a lot more like blunt trauma almost on the way through. Not blunt trauma, because it's not blunt, but what is that? No.
No, it's a puff of grass.
And so similar concept, right? Like it's essentially the thinner blade goes through. It's more like slicing butter easily, right?
Yep.
In a sense.
Yeah, no, that's pretty well, like, look at that tree. If there's not a pig over on it, you'd eat your hat, wouldn't you?
Yeah. I probably wouldn't eat my hat, but...
Yeah, I've been caught out saying that a few times. Yeah, but no, it definitely, using the thinner head, I have succeeded in just getting in through that pad on the angles I want to get in on.
Yeah, okay.
I've also done it with the pilot cuts, but I just wanted to eliminate that thought of having to wait for him to quarter away, or just when you do have that big that opportunity on that bigger fella, being able to smack him broadside or even slightly quartering on, but just duck in behind the leg type thing.
Yeah.
It's only the pad. It's not the bones issue. It's the pad. Them balls out there are covered in mud.
Yes.
They might have an inch and a half of pad,
yeah,
but then they've got friggin' inch and a half of mud, and you've got to get through that, which it's, you may as well go and shoot a rock. Literally.
That's pretty much what it's like, right? Clay mud type thing.
Yeah. So, and you don't really, like even a boar that doesn't look like he's got mud on his shoulders, the fines of mud through his hair on his pad where he has been in the mud rubbing on trees, it just basically makes that like a shield. Like, well, it's exactly what it is. It's a shield.
Yeah.
And you don't realise how freaking hard that is to get through.
No, definitely.
And I learnt the hard way a few times. I lost a couple of good boars because of that. And I just went, righto, well, I either got to be more disciplined and just wait for a quartering away shot, or I'll just try the old schools or the Zots, and I know the Zots bloody
Did the trick.
They zip through really quick. Like, they just don't seem to slow down. The old schools there, I think the new point design on the front of them is freaking awesome.
Yeah, okay.
You can poke your finger and it cuts you.
They're single bevel, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know whether the boys still do them in double bevel or not. I'm not sure.
I don't know. I think that's what essentially the Zot has replaced, right? It's the bigger, better brother.
Yeah. And
log there.
I was looking up under this tree. Oh man, have a go with that shit.
What? Gobbler's pegs or something? What is it?
Them freaking.
It's like speargrass.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
Millions of them. I didn't even get stuck to this shit. I'm just going to poke up here, bud.
Yeah, okay.
What time is it? Probably
3:30. We probably should
head back.
Head back.
I'm sure the young fella's probably woken up by now.
Yeah,
and,
true. As fun as this is.
He's probably woken up, and I'm sure Corey's probably not wanting to be babysitting my kids.
Let's go look in this gully and then I'll call it. Okay.
Good on you.
Just one more ledge, Ben.
Yeah, just one more. don't think I've seen you shoot low on the target at camp yet with the stick bow.
Oh, yes, yesterday. I mean, not since we fixed things.
Maybe it's my fault. Maybe them few adjustments I did last night, winding your sights down.
Yeah, all right. Just double check that log.
Got a little crack in there.
Yeah. Glass in this little tree log area at the top of the creek. Had a little crack in there, I thought, but can't actually see anything down there.
Probably a bird, is it?
A bird?
I think so.
Yeah. All right, let's head back.
Well, I don't know what parts of a little recording will be any good, but at least you got to capture your first
Shot, yeah, that's awesome.
first shot on.
We'll have to catch the first blooding of it too. It's going to have to happen, right?
Yeah, it will.
I'm actually very surprised with how quickly. I mean, I used to shoot my recurve literally every single day, but it was not correct form.
Yep.
I was accurate with it, but
Yep.
it wasn't repeatable process every single time.
Yep, and that's what I think what the boys have taught me, and process of just hanging around with everyone that shoots stick bows is getting that right. Like I said to you yesterday when we were shooting that target, you know, don't give a rat's ass where your arrow goes.
Yeah.
While you're getting that form right.
Yeah.
You know, get your shot process right, and you know, then everything else just seems to adjust itself. You know.
Definitely.
But which no, it was good. Your arrow flew good.
Yeah.
Everything just a little low.
Got to pull back more.
Do you reckon you got to your back tension? Or you reckon that arrow was gone before you
I'd say based on where it went, it's probably gone before.
bit of pre-ejaculation?
Yeah. But it's interesting, right? Like essentially it is a form of what's it called? The shooting style?
What are you trying to say to me?
I don't know.
Instinct shooting?
Instinct shooting, yeah, that's the thing. Like you're using your instincts to try guess the distance essentially.
Instinctive?
Yeah. I mean, we did the exact demo yesterday of throwing a rock. You made me throw a rock at the trailer, then you made me throw a rock which was probably 10 metres away, 20 metres away. You made me throw a rock at the fence line, which is 40 metres away.
Yep.
And just the big difference that made.
But you don't aim, do you?
No, exactly.
Your body just like it automatically calculates where to let go of that rock.
Yeah.
You know. And
yeah,
so I said, it's funny as you see so many people pick up a stick bow, and at 10 metres they'll shoot high.
Yeah.
So they go back to 20 and they shoot high. So they go back to 30 and they still shoot high. And it's because the brain is still just doing the same thing.
Yeah.
You know,
Also, mate.
Yeah, imagine that. Twing! Yeah, so it's just a matter of repeating the process enough that your body starts to, you know, zero in where you want to hit. Oh.
What's your goals for this afternoon?
Well, Corey and I found we actually rattled up a buck yesterday. A buck yesterday afternoon. Lukey was asleep. Well, sorry, that was just after we rattled up the buck, but we had the boys standing at the front of the tree with us, this big arsehole gum tree. We just perched up there, and anyway, there was one dead stick leaning in on the tree that the boys were sort of leaning against, but there was a heap of ants on it. Anyway, we let them put up with it for the first 10 minutes, and we were like, well, we better, buddy. We've been rattling and mucking around, whatever. And we're like, no, we better get the boys over to lay on me pack so that I haven't got ants on them. And right as we're both looking at the ground, moving the boys, yeah, sure enough, big old bloody buck just comes cruising in, like literally freaking to like 8 yards, stopped behind a tree, and then winded us and took off. And it was like, literally 30 more seconds. If we had just been looking up, I'm pretty confident we could have just stoke-hauled him and, pulled him up at about 10 metres and happy days.
A few gold tops, I reckon.
What, are you going to eat it?
No, just checking.
Good luck with that.
Apparently you squeeze them.
I'm silly enough.
Apparently you squeeze them if they go a bit blue. Then like you squeeze their stem, if they go a bit blue, which it seems to be. It's an old magic mushroom there.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, crazy, hey?
There you go.
They typically grow in cow shit. That's how you know. So that was on top of cow shit. You squeeze the stem and it's gone a bit bluey, grey.
Yep.
Yeah, sure enough. Don't know how many. Yeah, don't ask me how I know.
I read it somewhere.
yeah, exactly. Forums and stuff,
Yeah. No, I'm still seeing the effect.
What, so the plans to go up and find him again?
Well, some would say going straight back the next day doing the same thing might be a shit idea, but it's an easy idea with the boys.
With the boys, yeah, freaking hell.
There's 3 nice scrapes literally under the same tree.
Yep.
So it can't be just him working that.
No,
we don't believe. So even if we can rattle in a spiker or call in a spiker for the boys, all we want to do, our mission is to just shoot a deer with the boys.
Freaking hell.
That we're both already stoked with
the
outcome of this morning. Like having them 2 bucks come in and just cruise around in front of us because
the boys, they're seeing it all.
Oh mate, they were just like 2 meerkats poking over the logs. Just watching, in awe. So it was, freaking. That sort of mission accomplished. The only thing that could have made that sweeter is sit them up behind it and let them touch the antlers and let them feel the animal.
Yeah.
But frick, they're 4.
Yeah.
They've got plenty of years to experience that process, little buggers.
It doesn't have to happen now.
It was for me and Corey. We got them both on our shoulders last night. We end up walking way further than we sort of planned, as you do. And I said to the boys, we love it. Like, when you boys realise how lucky you fellas are, like, Dad's got a torn ACL, I've got a crook-ass neck, and you're up on our shoulders, we're walking through this shit-ass country back to the ute in the dark, and they're just up there, Harry and Lukey are just up there having a great old yarn. Like, imagine if, buddy, I just carried you on my shoulders after a big walk up in the mountain. Like, oh, Matty, just jump on my shoulders, mate, I'll take you back to the ute.
Yeah.
You'd be high on life, and I'm going,
the easy way out.
These little bastards, like, we can take advantage of this. But anyway, he's put in the hard yards this trip.
To walk a K1.5 each direction.
Yeah, mate, he's done well. I'm proud of him.
Yeah, it's funny because like when I took Mads out for her first hunt, I wanted her to work for it as well. Because I'm like, that's the problem with Instagram and showing hunting and stuff, and people think like you just rock up with meat and they're like, well, hunting's easy, right? Like, no, it's not the case.
We're all guilty only showing the good parts.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That's why I love Toby's shit. A few other fellas
who just showcase
all the heartbreak. It's like, fuck, I watch it sometimes and I see him message like, mate, good on you, because I'm just like, fuck, I've been there so many times.
Yeah, definitely.
And you just go, oh, fuck.
It's funny, and I think the frustration almost makes you just want to come back and prove it right again.
Yeah.
Like, I have to do it.
Yeah, I'll get this.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the addiction with these goddamn sticks.
Stick loads, yeah.
Oh, mate, you just like just then.
Yeah, exactly.
I can guarantee you that shooting under that sow, the fire in your belly's
it's got me, yeah.
Fuck, I just want another opportunity. Just to
100%. I'm looking out in this paddock as we walk back, like, where are all the pigs? How do I attach this to my bag this afternoon and take it out? And my
well, mate, it's not a dumb idea.
Compound,
it's absolutely not a silly idea.
It's definitely not heavy, so
you could strap it to the back of your pack, and if you get an opportunity on a nice little sow, something that you're really not that interested in shooting with a compound.
Well, I mean, especially on dark here, that seems that they come out from everywhere.
And take a head torch and
oh yeah, do that too.
go and have a bit of fun with the head torch after. Yeah.
Well, actually,
Then everyone will tell you, oh, that doesn't count. Yeah. First pig with a stick bow doesn't count. You shot it with the head torch. Like fucking hell.
Still got to aim and hit it.
Yes, right. Yeah.
I'd love to take some meat home, but I've got this last afternoon hunt. And I'm kind of torn because so far all the buck hunting that we've done, I mean, it's hunting in general, but it just hasn't played out the way we wanted to. They're not reacting. They're not coming in. The best we had was a little buttonhead came into a few doe calls, and that was kind of it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, heck, do we just abandon ship on the bucks and just go shoot it?
And generally, you'll probably find that'll be your best afternoon out hunting bucks.
Yeah. Yeah, when you
probably
go
put too much
pigs.
pressure on yourself to try and make opportunities with the bucks. And
I mean, the thing is, like we've walked past, let's say 100 girls this week, and just walk straight past them because we're like, well, that's not the buck. So we just keep going. You mosey your way around them. Like at times we're at 40 metres, 30 metres off these does, and you're just getting around them so you can go find the bucks. You're like, oh, I could probably shoot her right now. Yeah.
I've had that happen a couple of times too, but I moved them off with an arrow in the air. Didn't hit them. Scared the hell out of them.
They were very aware by the end of it.
Yeah,
you were there.
No, they got the message to move off, yeah. Anyway.
No, I honestly just so stoked with, I mean, literally, and we'll talk about this on another episode of a bit of a recap maybe of the whole weekend, but like my first afternoon I get here and it's just smiling straight away. Just absolutely cheering with the weekend. It's funny because Grant's like, oh, we've just given ourselves bad juju for the rest of the weekend. I'm like, no, we haven't. Like, it doesn't matter what happens. We're going to have a fucking great weekend.
But you really haven't unveiled why the smiles were so big either.
No, and that's fine. We don't have to. No. That's what we call an open loop in the marketing world.
That's right.
You guys are stuck with that.
We'll leave that.
But yeah, no. I mean, once again, I'll probably talk about it again, but I am absolutely blown away with this gift from everyone that's been on the podcast, everyone that organised this. It's like, yeah, it's going to be with me for the rest of my life, which is absolutely incredible.
It's pretty cool, eh?
Yeah. Very unique bow in the sense, obviously, it's got the logo printed, but it's not something you're going to pass on, is it? Something like that will be on the wall after it's...
No, well, that's right. Yeah, and even, like, I mean, you may or may not even do your podcasting your whole life, you know, but it's just a memory of your journey and a token of everyone's appreciation to, you know, like I said, everyone's just that little bit more open to sharing their knowledge and, you know, welcoming. I don't know why. Do you feed me that mushroom? You know, welcome maybe someone they don't know personally to their camp because of what you've done. You know, there's so many little avenues that has brought the whole of Australia's bow hunting community somewhat together. You know, and it's you know, there's still the odd idiot in between them, but. But anyway, few will get a laugh out of that. Yeah. But yeah, no, I mean, we all have our own different little appreciation for what you've done, I guess, like in different avenues. Like some you've opened doors to people being able to go hunting with someone. Some have gained knowledge about how to hunt deer or foxes or pigs or how to tune a bow for the first time, what arrow weights, broadheads, and you know, all that things. People don't know, you know, it's different things that people don't know. And so people have taken different things from your podcast. And
that's the thing, each one has a little snippet you can take away, right?
Take something from,
yeah.
And even the most experienced fellas you've had on there, I'd be shocked if they haven't taken something from one of the greenest blokes you've had on there.
Mate, I think that's the thing, when you're further removed from the start, you forget about what you've learnt, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, at the same time, like Grant said after the fallow one that we did, me and Toby and Grant, he had people reaching out to him who were seasoned hunters, like, man, we thought we knew fallow well. I just learned a whole heap of stuff, thank you. Like, that stuff's just absolutely incredible. When there's no in between of the level that you start at, meaning you can be as green as they come or as seasoned as they are, and you still get to hear this bit of content and then take what you can from it.
And go out, and then all of a sudden you've got some knowledge that it's taken some hunters to.
What do you reckon? Over the edge there?
Yeah, I'm gonna go over the strainer. Try not to get
Just
zapped.
coming up to a fence.
Hopefully I don't get my head stuck in it. I've been there once before and it wasn't pretty.
I literally was jumping the fence. Oh, let's go. Got my back foot caught and just face planted.
This weekend?
No, it wasn't this weekend. It was one of the times I was out hunting with Adam. And
I'd love to be a
man,
foot.
it just
that.
winded me straight away.
isn't that the most awkward sound you ever made?
Pretty funny, that's for
It
sure.
sounds like mum or dad dropped a brick on your head when you were a kid.
I'm in the thick of stuff here. Could you come over this way?
Well, I thought the track's just here.
Is it?
Yeah, that's what I was walking
up
for.
there, yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, I'm not just going bush.
I thought you were going to try and bump a pig on us.
Yeah, well,
Could easily happen in this stuff.
but yeah, no. So, no, it's my thank you is thank you, and I'm sure everyone else as everyone will reach out, I suppose, anyone in the chat and whatever else, they'll all have their time to say thanks to you, and that's part of it.
I mean, yeah. What they've already done is fucking crazy. It's beyond. Like, this is what I said to you last night. Like, they're the ones that offered up theirs and bedding areas. They're the ones that offered up their time and went through that process, right? Like, I don't know. Obviously, I'm the conductor and the orchestrator of it or whatever. But at the same time, I'm like, heck, each one of these people have gone and given their time and given up their knowledge from their hard time in the bush.
Yep.
Yeah, they're the ones that turned around and said thank you. I'm like, what the heck? It's like, it's baffling to me.
So do I give you my next bow specs just to hand on for an order for you, mate? Or?
Go for it, mate. I'll pass it straight to Grant.
Yeah. No. It's
Well, how many bows does the stick bowman need? That's the question,
well,
right?
that's right.
It seems like everyone
I can't
has.
shoot one straight, so
So you go to the next one. It seems like everyone's got freaking 5,
yeah,
3, 4, 5, something like that.
it's
It's just the addiction once it starts, hey?
Yep, like having a different bottle of scotch, I guess.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. I was talking to my gym owner the other day. Jim on that, the one I go to. He was saying, yeah, I had an order of whiskey in my online cart the other day. $1,000 sitting there overnight. I had to make sure that I really wanted it before I bought it. And then, yeah, sure enough, next day I went and bought $1,000 worth of whiskey. I'm like, heck, our hobby is much better than something like that. Like, I mean, each person to their own, but like,
Yeah.
I'd happily
that's it.
spend $1,000 on getting a bit of kit that can help feed the family for years to come.
Yep.
Versus, I thought that was a big old
Pig
black
shit on the
bush.
brain.
Yeah. Yeah, versus some of that. I mean, obviously, each their own. It's just not my cup of tea as such. Probably
No.
just because I don't like scotch. Not much of. Are you just scotch drinker? I'm not got a taste for it yet.
No, I don't mind port.
Yeah. Okay.
As a night capper,
Yep.
it's nice. I mean, I just love a beer in general. I keep telling Ash Brown, he doesn't drink,
Yep.
and hats off to him. He's as fit as a fiddled bass. He's like a little whippet.
Yeah. Yeah.
And anyway, I keep telling him, like, yep, I'm gonna do this. 12 months, I won't have a beer. But I just enjoy having a beer too much with me mates. I come to camp, sit down. I'm like, I rang him on Friday.
Yep.
And I said, I'm just ringing to tell you, there's no way I'm ever giving this shit up. I said, I enjoy it too much. I said, that might make me sound like a pisshead, but just sitting down, having a casual beer with the mates, just helps you unwind.
Definitely.
And people have their different avenues. Well, yeah, pretty sure I won't get judged for enjoying a beer in camp.
Fuck no. Honestly, I don't drink much unless I'm in camp, pretty much. It's
Yep.
like, yeah. Especially come down here, you guys are bad influence. Nah, I think most people are
Shouldn't
bad
say
influence
that
in
out
camp,
loud. The
isn't
wife
it?
might let you back.
Don't tell Grant.
Yeah.
Oh, it's always good fun. Well, we're almost back at camp. We might,
Should be
we might call it there.
an interesting listen.
It will be an interesting listen. I'm actually excited to share a few squawks on the podcast. I'll probably have to mute it or something like that. Not mute it, but just...
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how that comes through.
Well, yeah, I think it'll be probably noises or buggery, but just to showcase how you kind of do it, how long you do it for. We didn't see any foxes, so probably not the best reference. No, I'm kidding.
Well, mate, it is. At this time of the year, they're just about to start. Well,
Amazing,
I actually think they're coming in earlier than usual, because they've already started kicking all their burrows and that out at home. So,
what do you mean, kicking their burrows out?
They start cleaning all their burrows out and that, getting ready for breeding.
Oh, wow.
And they just clean them all out and tidying them up, I suppose. And I've noticed them doing that already, and normally that's a little bit later, normally at home we've noticed sort of around start of May, end of April, start of May, which they're already doing it. And I'm like, oh well, and I haven't had any luck calling foxes at home now the last sort of 3 or 4 outings, and I'm nearly putting it down to that they're starting their minds going on having a shag, not not so much responding to the caller, but I lip squeaked that fox in yesterday and he came in on a string. So
I mean, you are 5 hours away from home, so
yeah. And I think honestly, as much as I rave on about the predator caller, I think it does come down to sometimes different calls at different times of year might work better.
Yeah.
Because I've had friends use the raspy silver fox and that, and had great success with it when the predator caller hasn't worked on an afternoon. So that's normally at these times of the year. So I haven't delved into that too much because I'm not coordinated enough to use them silver fox whistles, because there's
put your tongue hard against it.
I just can't get my tongue right.
Yeah.
Been told that a couple of times.
Still married though.
Yeah, still married. Happily married. And anyway, but as a quick breakdown of that, it's just a simple call, pause, call, pause, wait a couple of minutes, sort of just, I find if you just keep going, is all you're doing is giving them the opportunity to work out that something's not right.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't sound right.
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas short, sharp, loud, a lot of people start soft. I go loud straight up.
Yeah.
Loud straight up.
When you think about the intensity of an animal being attacked,
yeah.
It's not going to be like,
this is great. This is not so great.
Yeah. I actually, with the Scotch Predator, we called a dog 650 metres away.
Yeah, cool.
He was across in this little valley.
Wild dog?
That's
cool.
He came straight up, man. He came straight up the hill. He was 24 metres off of us. And I didn't think to shoot with my bow because I had my mate Steve there with me, and he had his rifle. And I'm like, we got to put him down for the farmer.
Wise move to take the safe option to make sure you...
And he missed. So he shot straight over it. He was so close, right? So anyway.
Bloody hell.
Yeah. Well, always fun sharing camp with you, Benny. Thank you very much for being on the podcast
Likewise.
again.
No worries.
And now we just got to learn how to turn these bad boys off. Push the little button. Just press it again.
Press it again.
That wraps up this week's episode. Thank you so much for joining us, team. If you did have any topics, questions, or you wanted to suggest a guest for Becoming a Bowhunter, you can send me an email at matty@becomingabowhunter.com. If you are enjoying the show or you've enjoyed in particular episodes, please do me a solid and share it around with your friends. If you are not already, please hit the subscribe button, as the more subscribers we get, the higher the podcast gets ranked, and that definitely helps out for showing it to other individuals. If you are not already following me on Instagram, it's at becomingabowhunter.podcast, and on YouTube, it's Becoming a Bowhunter. Get out, team, fling some arrows, get that practice in, and walk those yards in the paddocks until you find those critters. That is it for now, but not the last time that you'll hear from Becoming a Bowhunter.